I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed toward the sun, one's feet moving forward. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It always seems impossible until it's done. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived, it is what difference we have made to the lives of others. One cannot be prepared for something while secretly believing it will not happen. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance. I have come, but I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom come responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not ended. As I have said, the first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. There is a universal respect and even admiration for those who are humble and simple by nature, and who have absolute confidence in all human beings irrespective of their social status. I had no epiphany, no singular revelation, no moment of truth, but a steady accumulation of 1,000 slights, 1,000 indignities, and 1,000 unremembered moments produced in me an anger, a rebelliousness, the desire to fight the system that imprisoned my people. There was no particular day on which I said, "Henceforth I will devote myself to the liberation of my people," and said, I simply found myself doing so, and could not do otherwise. As long as many of our people still live in utter poverty, as long as children still live under plastic covers, as long as many of our people are still without jobs, no South African should rest and wallow in the joy of freedom. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity. It is an act of justice. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. It is not our diversity which divides us. It is not our ethnicity or religion or culture that divides us. Since we have achieved our freedom, there can only be one division amongst us, between those who cherish democracy and those who do not. A leader is like a shepherd. He stays behind the flock, letting the most nimble go out ahead, whereupon the others follow, not realizing that all along they are being directed from behind. A good head and good heart are always a formidable combination, but when you add to that a literate tongue or pen, then you have something very special. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again, before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. Men have different capacities and react differently to stress, but the stronger ones raised up the weaker ones, and both became stronger in the process. Difficulties break some men, but make others. No axe is sharp enough to cut the soul of a sinner who keeps on trying, one armed with the hope that he will rise even in the end. During my lifetime, I have dedicated myself to this struggle of the African people. I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But, if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, They can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Without language, one cannot talk to people and understand them. One cannot share their hopes and aspiration, grasp their history, appreciate their poetry, or savor their songs. Let there be justice for all. Let there be peace for all. Let there be work, bread, water and salt for all. Let each know that for each the body, the mind and the soul have been free to fulfill themselves. Success in politics demands that you must take your people into confidence about your views and state them very clearly, very politely, very calmly, but nevertheless, state them openly. In judging our progress as individuals, we tend to concentrate on external factors such as one's social position, influence and popularity, wealth and standard of education. These are, of course, important in measuring one's success in material matters, and it is perfectly understandable if many people exert themselves mainly to achieve all these. But internal factors may be even more crucial in assessing one's development as a human being. Honesty, sincerity, simplicity, humility, pure generosity, absence of vanity, readiness to serve others, qualities which are within reach of every soul, are the foundation of one's spiritual life.